Well, Austin, you know the line that I'm going to start with, right?
Tennessee just scored again?
Just scored again.
How about Princeton Fant just scored again in a number of different ways?
Yeah, he's in studio tonight, by the way. Mark Packer along with Austin Price of VolQuest.com, Jason Swain, who is part of kind of everything these days, former Tennessee wide receiver. I ask you these questions all the time, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently now. With where Tennessee is right now, how big was the kind of off weekend,
Buffer
if
week.
you will? Buffer week is a more respectful way to say it.
The off week was great for Tennessee. You got a chance to get many guys in. Tennessee did what they were supposed to do.
Yep.
And they went out there and did not let UT Martin bring them down.
Right.
They kept that same level of intensity, same level of focus, and same level of just execution. And that's what we have been used to seeing this offense do. And that's what they did out there on Saturday.
Stayed healthy, Austin.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is they played, a healthy football. Nobody got hurt. You had the early, Brandon Turnage hit the head against the padding in the end zone. And Coach Heupel kind of alluded to, it won't affect him next week. In other words, we were going to be careful with him. There's no point to play him. I mean, Tennessee's already thin in the secondary as it is.
Right.
They need to, they got to go fetch some guys out of the wellness ward this week.
So let me ask, there's a number of guys that go to practice. They don't ever get to play. Okay, you superstars get to play. You get all the attention. Like our guy in studio here, Princeton Fant, he gets to play. Do you look forward in a game like that to those guys that don't get to play getting to get out there and you get to cheer for them?
Absolutely. Because, they put that work in practice, especially summer conditioning. They're doing everything that we're doing. They're giving you a good look in terms of the scouting report during the week. And they never get a chance to really go out there and play. They're in the Vol Walk. They're traveling, some of them. But they don't get a chance to truly play. So yesterday was special for those guys. Get out there and play, compete, and make some plays. Are there
conversations that I say you guys have, and I say you guys because you played the whole time you were here, that you guys have say, we got to make sure we're on our feet, that we're cheering for those guys?
No, we don't.
Not really?
No, it's organic. I mean, you do it because, you have a relationship with those guys. And, they're in the locker room just like you are. And, you know that they don't play, but when they do, you want to go out there and cheer, especially after you've made your, night plans for what club you're going to go to. After that's solidified, then you go talk to those guys and cheer them on when they're out there playing.
Thanks for being honest.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Keeping it real.
I'm just here to keep it real.
Yeah, well, and I mean, again, a lot of those guys are mentors to the younger guys. So their success becomes almost big brother success for those older guys.
The fast start, as Jason alluded to, how key was the fast start in a game where you could have the classic overlook after Alabama before you go to play Kentucky and Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, I think this week's is probably the game I would look more to the overlook.
As an overlook?
Yeah, because you're looking ahead to Georgia, right? Top-ranked team in the country, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this team's made that way, though, because if you look at their leaders that they have, whether it's on the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball, Jason, all their leaders are kind of lead by example. They're not real emotional. They never too high, never too low type guys. And I think that allows them to kind of keep that steady Eddie mentality when you go into a game like UT Martin or the game against Kentucky, to not look ahead to Georgia in what would be a trap game this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is a trap game, but I don't see these guys going out there and overlooking Kentucky. Kentucky's a team that, last year
pushed Tennessee to the end.
Possession or two away from winning. They're a rival. There's been a lot of chatter back and forth between the two fan bases. There's been some chatter between, Tennessee coaching staff a little bit. So I think the intensity and electricity of the crowd on Saturday will make sure these guys are locked in and ready to go.
It was funny. You may have seen it on social media. I don't know. We went to Columbus, Ohio to go watch Ohio State play because a friend of one of our daughters is on the dance team. So we went and we took the game in. There was no electricity at that stadium for Ohio State. But here's the cool part for me. We were leaving the game. We were walking out of the stadium, and there were a bunch of Ohio State fans.
Did you have on orange?
I was wearing scarlet.
Should have worn that orange blazer, man.
I figured I would save that for later. Anyway, back to my story before I was rudely interrupted.
You wore scarlet. Can you believe that?
I'm leaving. It was
Princeton, can you believe that?
It was for a friend. He's still smiling. It was for. Can I get back to my story?
Sure.
I'm leaving the stadium, and I hear an Ohio State fan say behind me, "Man, I want Tennessee. Man, I want Tennessee." And I kind of turned and grinned like, Has it happened that quickly?
Come on, big boy.
On a national level? 3 weeks ago, you wouldn't have ever heard that said somewhere like Ohio State.
Again, it's about getting over in big games. It's about getting over the hump against Florida. It's about getting over the hump in Death Valley.
But Tennessee's the sexy team now. Somebody like
they're
that,
the cool,
their fan base, like, we want those guys.
And recruiting, it's the cool school. No, as far as an opposing fan base, they want the opportunity to shut Tennessee fans up. But Tennessee fans are loud, man. They've been waiting 15 years to be worth anything, so they're going to be obnoxious, right? I mean, they're going to be into it, Jason, and as they should be. You don't take this stuff for granted. You enjoy the moment.
It ain't just Tennessee fans. It's the entire college football nation who looks at Ohio State and go, man, y'all play a soft schedule.
Yeah.
So Ohio State's like,
and what their record is against SEC opponents or Southern opponents.
It's not good at all. So
yeah.
they want to prove themselves against an SEC opponent or an opponent in the South. That's why they want Tennessee.
Yeah.
They want the smoke. They're gonna get it.
Well, sorry, I'm going to vent. I'm going to get up on a soapbox for a minute. C.J. Stroud's out there playing all the way. He's throwing bombs when it's 40-10, so that he can pad those stats. And that's why I put on Twitter, I'm like, C.J. Stroud against some level of competition is not in the league of Hendon Hooker right now.
Yeah, nothing like watching your bickering on Twitter with Ohio State fans.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah, I was like, don't tag me in these things. Go get in. I had to jump in my timeline.
I had to mute the conversation.
It was fun stuff, man.
It was not fun.
Okay, so by the way, the best pass thrown in college football was thrown, we got to move camera 4 right now, over to Princeton Fant, okay? Because Tennessee tight end, who's played just about everything in his career, threw a ball that has him. Have you ever thrown a touchdown pass before?
It was actually my first day.
That was the first one.
Yes,
we'll get
sir.
the microphone turned on when we come back for the Food City player perspective here on the locker room, and then he can gloat about it.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Iris Networks, Knoxville Orthopedic Clinics, and Exterior Home Solutions.
When it comes to the game of football, teamwork is critical for success. When it comes to customer service and business, that team approach is just as critical. That's why we're such believers in our friends at Exterior Home Solutions. We have seen firsthand how Exterior Home Solutions has supported our community and treats their customers just like family. So when it comes to roofing, siding, or maybe a complete overhaul, please make Exterior Home Solutions your first and only call.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense. Call OEB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Blue 2020 F-150 41990. Hut! Jake drops back. He's got a deal wide open. The crowd goes wild. With savings, whether you're looking for a low-mileage pre-owned truck to tailgate in or a minivan to get the whole family to the game, the Pre-Owned Patrol has what you're looking for. Only at Ted Russell Ford on Kingston Pike or Parkside Drive.
Hey, this is UT head football coach Josh Heupel. It's football time in Tennessee. When the Big Orange play, you don't have to miss a second of the action. Before, during, and after the game, just make sure your radios are tuned in to 107.7 WIVK. Or if you're on the go, download the WIVK app and listen anywhere. Your flagship station for the Tennessee Volunteers. 107.7 WIVK. It's a Tennessee tradition.
Do you want top-of-the-line fitness equipment for home, school, or work? New or reconditioned, Dynabody in Maryville has everything you need to build that gym. Used equipment brands include Paramount, Life Fitness, Nautilus, Hammer Strength, and Precor. Reach for the power with Dynabody.
So time now for the Food City player perspective. We kept his mic off because I don't think Hendon Hooker wanted Fant to gloat about his pass.
This is true. He was pretty boisterous afterwards. Said he's going to throws it better than even Hendon or Joe Milton.
I can see that.
And hey, why not, right? I mean,
yeah.
That's what you do. Princeton will start this the way I've started this every time I've seen you for the last 7 or 8 years, dating back to when you were recruiting. Did you bring me some toots?
I don't know. I might have.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Take it away, Jason.
Prince, let's talk about the pass. Let's get straight to it. Alex Golesh is offensive coordinator. He's also your tight ends coach. How many times during the course of fall camp and practice did you show off your throwing skills for him to actually trust you and get that play in to run a double pass against UT Martin?
Definitely. First and foremost, I just want to just give God the glory and thank him just for being here, being a part of this. But to the pass, man, me and Coach have been talking about this for a while, and it's actually crazy. I'm just glad when my number got called. I was there to answer for it, and I was just happy that High caught it and completed it.
What was your reaction when you saw High kind of bobble it 2 or 3 times, man? Were you a little nervous?
Yeah, I was definitely a little nervous for it being my first one, but I was just happy that he caught it, and I was glad.
How cool is it to be using so many different positions? You've caught, passes, touchdown passes. You've also ran the ball, the fullback position in the I formation. Very, very versatile. How cool is it to be used in so many different ways?
I think it's really cool just being able to play all these positions and just whatever I can do for my team. That's the main thing. That's the main goal. Is just to get the win and do whatever I can, just to help the team win.
What was the mentality going off the Alabama game and how emotional it was, the big celebration after the game? But then, you're playing a noon game against UT Martin. It's a homecoming game. What was that emotional roller coaster like for you guys to make sure that you went out and was focused and executed that game plan?
We definitely just had to make sure that we was focused. We had fun beating Alabama, but just like I said before, it's back to business. And we're locked in. The coaches made us make sure we was locked in as well. So it was definitely a lot of fun.
Why is Hendon Hooker, in your opinion, the leading candidate Heisman Trophy winner? Because we've heard Jalen talk about Hendon being the guy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. But why is Hendon, in your opinion, the man right now to win the Heisman?
Just every day, how he comes to practice, how he carries himself. He's a true leader, and that's somebody that the team really looks up to as well. He's a baller. He plays ball, and he's just a different type of person than people that we love.
How fun is it to play in this offense, to experience what you're experiencing now? You've been here for a while, man. You've seen the up and the downs. You've played multiple positions, but just how fun is it right now for you?
It's definitely a lot of fun. It sounds like a blessing just to be a part of it and just be with the team. It's crazy experiences. I've been here for a while at Tennessee, and just to experience this is definitely different.
The fan base.
It's crazy, out of this world. It's out of this world. I love the fan base, just the energy that they bring into the stadium. We really feed off of it, and it really gets us going.
What are you expecting this weekend? 7 p.m. game. The Kentucky game. It's been close the last couple of years. They got a really good program, good coach, good players. What do you expect this weekend, 7 p.m.?
They definitely do have a great program. Just preparation. We know they had a bye week this past weekend, and we have to prep even harder just to get ready for that team, and we're ready to go out there and handle business on 7 p.m. on Saturday night and just get to work.
All right, Princeton. You, my friend, you guys have worn different uniforms this season. There's been talk about, wearing this uniform, wearing that uniform. How much does that stuff matter to you?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to go out there and play football and just have fun doing it and just get the win, honestly.
Better spiral, you or Jacob Warren?
Me. I'm going to take that.
Better spiral, you or Hendon Hooker?
Dude, that's a good one, though. I give it to Hendon.
Okay.
I give it to Hendon.
That pass was good, man. It was a really, really good pass. Oh, man. All right, so goals for yourself. I know you're a big team guy. You want to win every game, but individually, you have some goals you want to set for yourself, and you want to achieve those goals. What are some of those goals?
Of course, a lot of people's dream is just to make it into the NFL and play at the higher level against those guys. Just be a leader, be more of a leader to my team and stand up for my team, but just be a great father, to my daughter.
I've played with guys that had kids while they were in school, and their focus was a little bit different. They're a little bit more mature. I'm a girl dad myself of 3. You're a girl dad. How has your daughter changed your outlook on playing and your outlook after your playing days here at Tennessee?
Definitely, it's definitely changed my life. Just being a father is different. Growing up without a father is also hard as well. But just learning that, and it's definitely changed the way I played. Makes me go harder every day, and also my mom, my family makes me go hard every day and grind for everything. So just being that is definitely different.
I love it. All right, so any carries with you at running back and then you having a lead blocker like Jabari Small? We've seen you get carries at the fullback position, but what about you playing halfback and maybe Jacob Warren lead blocking for you? We gonna see that later on in the game plan?
I don't know. We might. We're just actually having fun with it. We're gonna see where it goes. If I get the running back position and run around, we're just going to have to see.
So when you guys are going up tempo and it's, let's say, second and third quarter, and you can kind of see the tempo wearing on your opponent, can you tell looking into the opponent's eyes like, oh, yeah, we got him. He's tired a little bit?
Yeah, you can definitely feel that. Just with the tempo, man, it tires a lot of teams out. And we feed off of that, and we get lined up fast, and we play fast, and we play physical with it, so you can definitely see it.
We know the defenders are tired, but do you find yourself getting tired yourself?
Oh, I think I work myself into shape by now. But, yeah, definitely sometimes, but not as much. We so used to it now, and we've worked ourselves into shape, so we're having fun out there.
It's been fun to watch these guys. Princeton Fant has caught a touchdown pass. He's ran for a touchdown. He's thrown a touchdown pass. Who knows what we're going to see next, guys?
Why all the harassment of Jacob Warren? What did he do to you?
He didn't do anything. That's my boy. That's my brother, man. He's a great player.
Just making sure. I thought, man, we're comparing passes, winning the block for you.
Oh, it's just these guys joking in the locker room about who could throw the best ball. That's all it is.
Well, the greatest passer that didn't play quarterback here will always be Anthony Parker, the left-handed offensive lineman. We get out there in pregame, and he'd be chucking them 45 and 50 yards. Swain's teammate.
That's
but
right.
I mean, he'd get out there. Swain remembers. He'd get out there in pregame. He'd just be chucking them before they put pads on. When I saw him at the Alabama game, I said, still the best left-handed thrower I know.
That's hilarious. Hey, Princeton, thanks for coming out. Good luck the rest of the way. As we go to break, your opportunity to support the Vols and support the Big Orange, that is be a member of the Volunteer Club, partnering up with Spire Sports at volunteerclub.com. When we come back, we're going to talk about all those scenarios. It's the conversations that everybody's had. What if this happens? What if that happens? How does Tennessee get in the playoff? We're going to actually have the conversation when we come back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Commercial Bank, Humana, E2 Sports, and OEB Law. The Locker Room is brought to you in part by Knoxville Orthopedic Clinics, the exclusive orthopedic provider for University of Tennessee athletics for over 70 years.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith, or this John Smith, or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana Medicare Advantage members. No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health to provide care that's just as unique as you are, no matter what your name is.
Behind every Food City meat and seafood counter is a highly trained, certified butcher. Our butchers offer special orders, custom cuts, and even entire meal recommendations. In fact, you'll be so impressed with our butchers, you'll be asking yourself, what can't they do?
Huh, I bet he'd be great at wrapping presents.
Okay, well, maybe not that. But at Food City, our butchers make almost everything better.
D1 training is not only for the athlete who wants to perform at their best. D1 offers adult training programs because we believe everybody needs training. With a specialized facility, targeted workouts, and professional trainers, D1 Training has been in business 20 years strong. We'll give you everything you need to succeed. All you have to do is show up. Join us D1 Hardin Valley or D1 Sevier County.
D1 Sports Training, the place for the athlete.
Hey, Humana takes us inside the huddle, and Austin, we can talk about offense, but the defense coming up with some big plays.
Yeah, William Wright, young man, walk on from the mid-state, Jason, and had to go in there in emergency time against Alabama on that last drive, did his job. Then I thought cool to see him get a pick yesterday, against UT Martin.
I thought it was very important for this defensive backfield to get a pick in this game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys banged up, a lot of criticism going their way.
Yeah.
Getting your hands on the ball can really boost up their confidence. I think that's going to be important moving forward.
So as the conversation is now a conversation that can really be had as we take a look at the top 10. Okay, here's the top 5. Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, all getting significant first place votes. Somebody throwing one out there for Clemson because they live in South Carolina. So that's where we are in the top 5. And then from there, you go Alabama. You look at the unbeatens, but you also keep Alabama in mind because they kind of control their own destiny. So I think the conversation to have now is what are all the scenarios? Let's look at the number one scenario is Tennessee wins the rest of their games. They don't have to worry about anybody else.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think if Tennessee beats Georgia and goes undefeated in the regular season, no matter what happens in Atlanta, they would be in, yes. Outside of that, then I think they may need some help.
Okay, so let's say that they lose to Georgia, take care of their business the rest of the way. They finish 11-1. Georgia's undefeated. Alabama gets there with one loss, which could be what you're looking at.
You need Alabama to lose again.
You'd be pulling for Georgia. If Georgia wins, do you think, as of where we sit right now, that 11-1 Tennessee would get in, or do they need other people to lose? It would have helped that Clemson had lost to NC State Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State and Michigan still undefeated, so
somebody's going to lose.
Yeah, somebody's going to lose that game, but you want that game to be a lopsided, game. I think that would benefit Tennessee. You don't want that game to be close at all.
You want Notre Dame or North Carolina or one of those teams that plays Clemson down the stretch to beat Clemson. They've kind of skirted by on a couple of games. Oregon losing, again, wouldn't be a bad thing. They lost that season opener to Georgia.
49-3. I don't think anyone can overcome that. I don't think they can overcome that.
See, I do. I think that, that they're big on, conference champions. So, I think, depending on, kind of where things are, Oregon conference champ versus a Tennessee team that didn't win their own division. I get it. Their one loss would be to Georgia, number 1 team in the country. But when you're just comparing it, I think it's something they would have to weigh. I would take Tennessee, but, again, that's putting somebody else's
So there's 4 of the teams that 2 automatically are going to have a loss because they play each other. Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. There is a team that's very close to my heart that's sitting just on the outside of the top 6 right now that's figuring out how to be undefeated, and that's TCU. If TCU somehow makes their way through undefeated and they are a conference champion, are they in no matter what?
Yeah, I would say they have a really good shot to kind of slide in there. They would.
And the reason I say close to my heart is because that's my alma mater.
Yeah, TCU getting there, getting to undefeated would eliminate a second team from the Big Ten, potentially a second team from the SEC. Depending on what happens with Clemson, depending on what happens with the Oregon the rest of the way. But TCU undefeated would be over Oregon. So
you look at TCU, they've got Texas Tech. They beat West Virginia. They've got Texas Tech at home, at Texas, at Baylor, and Iowa State at home.
So that's a tough close.
That's a tough close, and I don't think that I've seen TCU for a long, long time. They're going to lose one of those. So the bottom line for Tennessee is take care of your business. You're there.
Yeah, it's easy to say. If they do that, then boom, you're there where you belong. But I look at Tennessee's schedule. One loss with this schedule. How do you not put Tennessee in over any other team with one loss?
Would they be ahead of any other undefeated team? Would a one-loss Tennessee? Because that's hard. Let's talk about TCU. Okay, if TCU goes undefeated and there's a one-loss Tennessee team with a tougher strength of schedule, I don't think that the committee can in any form or fashion justify leaving an undefeated team out.
They should justify it because I think who you play matter. I mean, you beat Alabama, you're playing Georgia. I mean, you look at the strength of schedule for Tennessee, it's up there in top 5, top 10.
To me, the loser of Ohio State, Michigan has no dog in the fight because they play cream puff after cream puff.
Exactly.
I will say this. I do think that you're going to have part of the committee that wants to ramp up and get to the 12-team playoff sooner rather than later. So
this may be the year.
Pushing the agenda with a 11-1 Tennessee or 11-1 Georgia could expedite that process of getting that 12-team playoff from 2026 to 2024.
I got to get to break, but is there any chance at all that 11-1 Tennessee, 11-1 Georgia with a loss to Alabama, and 11-1 Alabama with a loss to Tennessee, that all 3 get in?
Slim, but I think a lot of that has to go to Clemson loses.
Other undefeateds are out.
That'd be fun.
Which makes for a wild November.
That'd be fun.
Who gets to play in Atlanta in the semifinal out of those?
Well, it'd be the number 1 seed.
Well, I'm just saying, we got to. Who would be the number 1 seed with 3-11-1? So let's take a break. We'll wrap it up when we come back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Pilot Company, Ted Russell Ford, Food City, and Lincoln Memorial University.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Costa. Dr. Malone and I here at Knoxville Smiles are here to help you with any of your dental needs, whether it's a routine cleaning, a root canal, or if you just want some advice. Did you know that you don't have to settle for a denture anymore? My team and Dr. Malone are here to help you no matter where you're at and to help you figure out the truth for your dental health. So give us a call or visit our website at knoxvillesmiles.com.
Matlock Tire has a reputation for being a little bit old school. We're proud to be known for our outstanding hometown customer service. We've been doing things that way for over 60 years. But Matlock now offers new modern conveniences, such as family-friendly waiting areas, online appointment scheduling. You can even shop for tires and see our current stock right from your computer or smartphone. We invite you to stop into one of our 5 convenient locations or come see us online at matlocktireservice.com. Modern convenience, hometown service. Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair.
I chose LMU because I wanted doors to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher, let's turn to page 32, or a successful dentist, I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
Your chance to have lunch with the Vols. Go online, HillaryFrostHomes.com. Apparently Jason Swain may be a part of that because he's smiling over there. We'll announce the winner on the Locker Room on December the 4th. Who knows? Might be the night after the SEC Championship game. Your chance. Register at HillaryFrostHomes.com. 2.5 minutes to go in the show. Tennessee and Kentucky Saturday night, 7 o'clock. If there's one thing Tennessee has to do to get past this hurdle, it's stop the run.
Well, that's something they've done well all year, Mark.
Yeah.
That's been a point of emphasis in the offseason, and the interior of the defensive line, Jason, has done a phenomenal job. They've been really good. So it's really strength on strength when you think about it. It's not strength on weakness. So that's a good thing for me for Tennessee because Kentucky's going to want to ball control it and use Rodriguez in the running game.
Last year, Will Levis had his best game of the season versus Tennessee, and then went on to have a good game against Louisville. So I expect Will Levis' best. Also, Kentucky's wide receivers, they're explosive, young, but very, very explosive. So that's a matchup to watch, too.
To me, the key is don't turn the football over and don't let Barryon Brown beat you in special teams.
I'm going to go back to the Ohio State game that we were at on Saturday. In the second half, Ohio State was doing – you could see what they were doing. We got 1 minute to go. They were running up the score for cosmetic reasons. Is that more and more important this year with the conversation that we just had about that it could come down to a vote in a room of who gets in the playoff? Is it important for even Tennessee to cosmetically buffer that score in a game like Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is Tennessee's scoring at a record clip in this league that only a few teams have done. So, you know, they're going to keep scoring points. So I don't think you have to, do it. I think it just happens organically. I think Tennessee just scores.
This is the second time we've used the word organically on this show.
It's the word of the night.
We're not that smart.
This side of the table is.
Plenty of opportunities to have the Heisman moment for Hendon. Had one against Alabama.
There we go.
You got Georgia, you got Kentucky, Missouri, and Vanderbilt, and all those teams.
We'll see you next Sunday night here on The Locker Room, connected by Iris Networks.